Good evening, friends, fiends, and other spooky supernatural beings. Welcome to A Bit Late, where tonight the vibe of this story is very much slumber party where you watch a spooky movie and then try to summon spirits in a mirror. Definitely has that vibe going on, so if that's what you need tonight, grab your coffee or your tea, your blankets, pillow forts, everything you need to get into tonight's story. It's a short, spooky tale called The Shroud, and it sort of lives on the border of fairytale / graveyard ghosts and otherworldly or afterlifey stuff. So if that's what you want to hear tonight, you're in the right place for that story, and I'm so excited to read it with you. Oh, also, because we're comfy and cozy sleepy fiends here, I wanted to let you know first that I've made some new comfy and cozy merch. It's the Moon Story Time, and you could click the link in the description below to find that. It's of course a book and cats and the moon and stars and fireflies all gathered together, but it's available on a short sleeve t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt in case you get really chilly when you're sleeping. But I especially like this lavender / lilac purple. It's such a comforting color. I don't know, it just looks like marshmallows and Lucky Charms and lavender nights to me. So anyway, if you'd like to check out some merch, follow the link in the description. And thank you for supporting the channel while being comfy and cozy. So without any further ado, let's get into tonight's spooky story, The Shroud. In a certain village, there was a girl who was lazy and slothful and hated working but would gossip and chatter away like anything. Well, she took it into her head to invite the other girls to a spinning party. I mean, that's pretty smart, I'm not gonna lie. For in the villages, as everyone knows, it is the lazybones who gives the spinning feast, and the sweet tooth are those who go to it. Well, I didn't know, but now I do know, and it seems like an arrangement that plays to everyone's strengths, though. Just saying. Well, on the appointed night, she got her spinners together. They span for her, and she fed them and feasted them. Sounds like a great time. Among other things they chatted about was this: which of them was the boldest? Says the lazybones, "I'm not afraid of anything." "Well then," say the spinners, "if you're not afraid, go past the graveyard to the church, take down the holy picture from the door and bring it here. I triple dog dare ya." "Good, I'll bring it, only each of you must spin me a distaff full." If you're not afraid of anything, that's a good bargain, I'm thinking. That was just her sort of notion, to do nothing herself, but to get others to do it for her. She must have high charisma, and it seems like she does. Well, she went, took the picture down, and brought it home with her. Her friends all saw that sure enough it was the picture from the church, but the picture had to be taken back again, and it was now the midnight hour. Who was to take it? At length the lazybones said, "You girls go on spinning. I'll take it back myself. I'm not afraid of anything." Nothing's changed, of course. So she went and put the picture back in its place. As she was passing the graveyard on her return, she saw a corpse in a white shroud seated on a tomb. Creepy. It was a moonlit night. Everything was visible. She went up to the corpse and drew away its shroud from it. She is very brave. The corpse held its peace, not uttering a word. No doubt the time for it to speak had not yet come. Well, she took the shroud and went home. Oh, I don't know about this one, girl. "There," says she, "I've taken back the picture and put it in its place. And what's more, here's a shroud I took away from a corpse." Some of the girls were horrified. Others didn't believe what she said and laughed at her. But after they had supped and laid down to sleep, all of a sudden the corpse tapped at the window and said, "Give me my shroud. Give me my shroud." The girls were so frightened that they didn't know whether they were alive or dead. But the lazybones took the shroud, went to the window, opened it, and said, "There, take it." She is very bold, I will say. "No," replied the corpse. "Restore it to the place you took it from." Just then the cock suddenly began to crow. The corpse disappeared. Next night, when the spinners had all gone home to their own houses at the very same hour as before, the corpse came, tapped on the window, and cried, "Give me my shroud." Well, the girl's father and mother opened the window and offered him his shroud. They are also very brave. "No," says he. "Let her take it back to the place she took it from." Why wouldn't you return it? "Really now, how could one go to a graveyard with a corpse? What a horrible idea," she replied. Just then the cocks crew. The corpse disappeared. Next day, the girl's father and mother sent for the priest, told him the whole story, and entreated him to help them in their trouble. "Couldn't a service be performed?" they said. The priest reflected a while, then he replied, "Please tell her to come to church tomorrow." Or she could just return the shroud at night to the corpse, right? Like, it sounds like they're trying to exorcise her now, or something from her. Anyway, next day the lazybones went to church. The service began, numbers of people came to it. But just as they were going to sing the cherubim song, there suddenly arose, goodness knows whence, so terrible a whirlwind that all the congregation fell flat on their faces. And it caught up that girl, and then it flung her down on the ground. The girl disappeared from sight. Nothing was left of her but her back braid. And on that windy, mysterious note, the end. I guess moral of the story is if you take something, put it back within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, right? She had no problem returning the picture, but she just couldn't return that shroud for some reason. She was very bold, though. I think she definitely wins that prize out of all her friends at the party. What would she do if you were at a sleepover and then all of a sudden someone came to the window like that and was like, "Give me back my shroud"? I would probably be terrified and never forget that and have that in my head forever after. But if you were walking alone in the graveyard at night and there was a corpse sitting up on a gravestone, would you approach it? Like she did? I can't imagine someone approaching it like that and then being like, ha 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 ha, and not returning the shroud. It just baffles me. I guess that's why she was haunted. But what are your thoughts on this story? I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was short and sweet and spookily, so do let me know in the comments below. And now off to sleep and dream what you will, or stay a while and enjoy another tale. Whichever you choose, I'll speak to you again. And until then, stay spooky, my friends. Good night.